Cold never bothered me. It bothers me. I don't know why. So I have a question for you, and I need your help answering it. I especially need our kids' help answering this question, okay? So kids, can you help me out? All right. So here's my question. How do you thaw a frozen heart? So I'm going to give you 3 options, and I want you to tell me whether or not those are good ways to thaw a frozen heart, okay? Can you do that? All right, so here's option number 1. You put it in the microwave and you hit the defrost button. Is that a good choice? That would probably be a poor life choice. Let's see. Number 2, do you sit it out or place it out on the counter for 8 or 9 hours? No? Okay. Well, let's see. What would be the 3rd one? How about running it under the hot water and letting the hot water thaw? No? Well, geez, none of those are very good. Okay, so how do we thaw a frozen heart? Let's think about that for a second. So how many of you, as we're thinking about that, have actually seen the movie Frozen? Can you raise your hand? Hey, good. This will be easier then. I can cut my sermon in half. So you may not have known this, but the movie Frozen was actually inspired by the Snow Queen, which was a Danish fairy tale written by Hans Christian Andersen. He also wrote The Little Mermaid. How many of you have heard of The Little Mermaid? Yeah. He wrote The Ugly Duckling. Do you know The Ugly Duckling? And then he also wrote The Emperor's New Clothes. Anybody know that story? It's a little less known. Good. And he wrote a bunch of others. Now, both the movie and the fairy tale give us the same answer to our question. And the answer is love. Now, what I like about Frozen is that it doesn't give us platitudes to rely on. It doesn't offer sentiment. And it doesn't even play to stereotypes to explain love. Instead, it uses a little misdirection and irony. Now, I want to take some of the older Disney movies. Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Snow White. Who's seen these movies? Yeah. And what do these movies all have in common, if you had to guess? Princesses. Yeah, you just shot it out. There's princesses, there's princes, right? Yeah. Well, one of the things that these movies have in common is that it's about princesses who find themselves in very perilous situations, and they need the love of a prince to save them. Do you remember that in those movies? Well, Frozen takes a little different approach. Now, for those of you not familiar with Frozen, I want to give you a quick synopsis. Frozen is about 2 sisters, Elsa and Anna, who also happen to be princesses of the kingdom Arendelle. Now, Anna is sort of your average ordinary princess, if you can say such things. Elsa, though, has magical powers. She can create and she can control snow and ice. Elsa, though, and you kind of got this sense in the video from Let It Go, is also very scared of her powers. Is there something that really scares you? Shout it out if there's something that really scares you. Lots of good stuff. Alligators. Who else? That's what I heard. Well, 2 things that really scare me. Spiders and snakes. Spiders and snakes scare anybody else? Yeah, I won't tell you what I do when I see a spider or a snake. I'm kind of ashamed of that. But Elsa, now, real quick, what do you do when something really scares you, right? You try to avoid it. You try to protect yourself from it. And sometimes you just scream out loud, hoping someone hears you and comes to your rescue, right? Maybe you run away. Well, Elsa, when she gets scared, in fact, she gets so scared at one point that she literally runs away. And when she lets go of her powers to build an ice castle, she accidentally covers the entire kingdom of Arendelle in snow. And we kind of saw that in the video. Now her sister Anna goes in search of her and eventually finds her. And because Elsa is so afraid of going back, so afraid of her powers, so afraid of everything, she loses control and she accidentally freezes Anna's heart. Do you remember that in the movie? Yeah. So now Anna has a frozen heart, and if it's not thawed, she'll die. So, what do? Well, they go see a group of trolls, because that's who you go see when you have a frozen heart. And the troll chief tells them that only an act of true love can save Anna. So at first, everyone thinks they have to reunite Anna with this dude that she had met at a party earlier in the movie. But that doesn't end up working out so well. So then, well, she promised to marry this dude, but he turns out to not be so nice as you may remember, and doesn't really love Anna, so that doesn't work. So then they think that Kristoff, who's an ice farmer who we meet early in the movie, who does love Anna, is supposed to kiss her and all this and that will be an act of true love. Well, he never kisses her, and his love doesn't really do the trick anyway. So all the while, Anna is slowly freezing from the inside out. So what do they do? What do we do? Well, here's where the misdirection and irony comes into play in Frozen. So the evil dude, who was using Anna to get to Elsa, so he could take control of Arendelle, that was really what it was all about, goes after Elsa with his sword. And as he prepares to strike Elsa, Anna jumps in front of him and puts her hand up. And the sword, and as her hand goes up, she freezes entirely into a statue of ice. And just as the sword comes down and hits her fingers, the last part of her to freeze, the sword shatters. Elsa sees this happen, thinks her sister is gone, and starts to cry, and runs over, and in Disney fashion, and only how Disney can do it, Anna begins to thaw. And then from there, we see her, or then from there, we realize that it wasn't a prince that saved Anna or Elsa. It was actually Anna sacrificing herself that saved both Elsa and herself. And then, as Disney likes to say, they lived happily ever after from that point. You see, Frozen's answer to what thaws a frozen heart is that only an act of true love can thaw a frozen heart. And by sacrificing herself to save her sister, Anna performed an act of true love. In the church, we call this sacrificial love, after what Jesus did for us on the cross. Now this morning you heard Evan read a passage from the book of John that said, no one has greater love than this, to lay down their life for their friends. Friend in this case actually means loved one. Now John was writing to a church community much like us. The community that was struggling to get along and maybe was even in conflict. In other words, the hearts of many of the people in this church community had become frozen and they needed to be thawed. So John encourages his community to practice sacrificial love. And he reminds them of Jesus' words that no one has greater love than this, to lay down their life for those that they love. So that's how you thaw a frozen heart. Sacrificial love isn't a platitude, it's not a sentiment, it's not even a stereotype. Sacrificial love isn't something that we say, it's something that we do. Sacrificial love is letting go of our fears and putting our life on the line for others. When Elsa let it go, she ran away from all those she loved because she was scared. When Anna let it go, she ran towards and offered her life for the one she loved the most. That's how you thaw a frozen heart. And the best part is, acts of true love have a ripple effect. In the movie, Elsa learned to control her powers. And she made fun ice rinks, didn't she, for everyone to skate on. And she even made a little cloud for Olaf. Do you remember that? Yeah. And whereas before she locked everyone out of the castle, now she was promising to let everyone in. And that's what we call proof of a thawed heart. Now earlier you heard Pastor Liz invite you to think about what you need to let go of to love others with sacrificial love, to perform acts of love. And now we're going to have a little opportunity, experience, if you will, to give you a chance to think about that deeper, to reflect on it deeper. And I'm going to invite you to come forward, and I'm going to invite you to let go of whatever it is that you need to let go of. But before we do that, I want to show you how this is going to work. So I want to invite my assistant forward. Hildy, could you come forward, please? And Hildy's going to help me show you how this is going to work. So the first thing you're going to do, and we'll model this for you, try to do it as best we can, is when you leave your pews, you'll come out over here on your side aisle. So this side you'll come over here, that side you'll go over there. And then you'll come over here, and as you walk, you'll find some steps here in the back that'll bring you up. And then you're going to come to this great big snowflake. And you're going to pick a snowflake. So go ahead, Hildy, and pick a snowflake. Whatever one you like. And as you pick your snowflake, and you're going to find that there's a magic piece of paper on the back side of your snowflake. And then you're going to come down the middle here. And you're going to drop your paper, your magic paper, into these tubs of water. So go ahead and drop it in. Yeah, don't drop your kind of foam snowflake. You want to drop the paper behind it. Okay? Go ahead and drop it in. And something magical is going to happen. So you're going to pick up the spoon and you're going to give it a stir. Oh, what happened? It disappeared! That's the magic. And then you can take your snowflake with you and go back to your seat. So I want to invite you to come up, grab your own snowflake, reflect on what it is that you need to let go of, and then let go of it by dropping it in the tubs, giving it a stir, and watching it disappear. And again, you'll come out on the sides of your rows down the middle.